Hi guys, my name is Dimitri Maramenides, owner of Epic Kites and Epic Wings, and today's video is gonna be on how to water start on a wingboard using a short wingboard like this one, for example. Really small. And when I'm talking about small boards, short boards, I'm talking about low volume, something that can sink. So we're talking about 40 liters, 45 liters, all the way down to 20-25 liters. Okay, so the smaller the volume, the easier it is for you to sink that board, because in order to water start the way I'm going to show you, you're going to require two things: strong wind and a board that sinks easy into the water. Okay, so it's easier to get on top of it, okay, once it's sinking. Okay, so you need these two things in order to do a true water start. Okay, you do have few videos out there that shows you how to get on the board and start, get on the wingboard and start and plane and all that. But this video will focus on how to water start on a short board. And to do that, you need wind. The stronger the wind is, the easier it is going to be for you to get on top of the board. Okay, so me personally, I like using a 5 meter, 4 meter, 3 meter, 2.5 meter to get on top of the board, because it is windy and the sail helps me get on top of the board, because the wind pushes the sail. It's strong enough and I just lift the wing and boom, I'm on top of the board. So the windier it is, the easier it's going to be. And you're going to say, what about using a 6 meter? I mean, yes, I've done on the 6 meter. I've done it also on the 5.5 meter that we have, the wave. And it is also, you're also able to get on it. But once you're on it and you start playing, you're going to get overpowered, because I've done it on my 6 meter. And for sure, you cannot do it in 10 knots. It's very hard to, because you need power, okay? So you can do it in 13, 15 knots using a big sail like a 7 or 6 meter sail. But once you're on top and you kind of spend a lot of energy, get finally on top and all that, you're going to be sinking a lot. And then once you start planing, you're going to be overpowered with that big sail, and you're going to need a 5 meter. So it's not worth it. Okay, so always before you go out there, make sure you choose the perfect equipment in order to to decide what you want to do out there. Okay, so if you want to use a short board or a board that has a little bit more volume. Okay, but anyway, first thing first, if you want to do water starts, starting with short boards and when it's windy, you want to make sure that your the foil of the wing, okay, is taken care of first. Because the tips of these wings, as you can see here, is very pointy at the ends. This one is nice because Axe actually makes them pretty flat, the new ones, so they're flat, so they won't pierce your sail. Okay, so a few of them that I had in the past were pointy at the end, so I always send them down to make them roundish and flat. Actually, the best thing is to make your tip of your wing foil flatten, okay, because then it won't pierce the foil. With Axis, I still do it. I mean, they're flat, but what I do is I take sandpaper and I kind of round it, the edges and everything, to make it even very, how you say it, no sharp, so it doesn't go through my sail. So that's the first thing you want to do. You want to make sure you take care of that wing, and with the sandpaper, sand it so it's not sharp and it's flat, and it won't go through your sail when you're trying to start. Because as you can see, as you'll see it, the sail is actually, when you're ready to get on top of the board and you're ready for the wind to pull you up, it will put you in an angle that the foil is actually touching, and it can pierce your sail. Okay, so make sure you take care of that before you go and start water start. Okay, because you don't want to start and saying, oh man, I just made a hole in my sail, so you don't want that. Okay, so make sure you take care of this so you don't have any problem in the future by doing that. So anyway, second thing, you want to make sure there's wind. Okay, so let's say we're ready, there's wind, you have your short board ready. I like foot straps because I come from the world of windsurfing. So and I used to, when I used to windsurf, I used to do forward loop, back loops, all these Vulcan 360s and all these. So foot straps for me are nice. But again, you can do it also without foot strap, which would be a little bit harder to water start without a foot strap, but you can still do it. Okay, so again, in this video I'm going to show you using foot straps. Okay, so when you're ready, make sure there's plenty of wind. I go out on a 5 meter or 4 meter, which is fine. In this video it's going to be between a 4 meter and a 5 meter. And you go out, you pedal out, okay, and make sure you pedal until it's deep. you know, you want to make sure it's deep and it's above your head, deep, that you're not touching the bottom, because once you get on those boards, since they're sinker and they have low volume, they will sink, and if you have a board that's 25 liters, it will sink until it touches the bottom, okay, if there's not much wind, okay. So make sure you're pretty deep in order to do a water start like that. And again, if you are a windsurfer, then water starting on short boards will be easy, piece of cake, okay. But anyway, so you paddle out, you get to deep water, then when you're ready, make sure you get off of the board, make sure you turn your sail around. If it's inverted, just turn it around, you know, so it faces the right way, which is the strut on the bottom, and the canopy is up. So make sure it's all that, and then just place yourself behind the board and behind the wing, so everything is on your side. You know, it's on the right side or on the left side, but everything is on one side. You're not in the middle between these two, okay. So then once you're ready and everything is on the same side, okay, your front hand will hold the sail and your back hand will hold the board, okay. So then once you're ready, lift a little bit your front hand with sail, push your hand a little bit up so you can turn the board on its side, and with your back hand grab the foot strap, the back foot strap of the board, and twist it a little bit so it goes on its side, okay. But make sure your front hand has the wing a little bit up so the board can turn, it has space, okay. Once the board gets on its side, still hold with your back hand and make sure immediately to put your front foot into the front foot strap, okay. And why the front first is because it will keep everything in balance. So then take your front foot, put it in the front foot strap, locking it in, pushing really hard, using the back hand to secure it, and then put your back foot into the back foot strap. Then once you push everything is all set, release your back hand and then grab the other grab handle, the second grab handle of your sail, okay. And then when you have both hands on it, relax, okay. You did half of it. You don't want to waste your energy because water starting in low wind is really, you know, tiring, okay. So you want wind. So then relax. You have your sail above you, you know, above your head, and then look for wind. Now, if you feel it's breezy and it's windy, once you have your sail ready, so then you're ready to go. If not, just wait, because if it's not windy and you try to lift yourself and you're gonna do extra energy, you're gonna spend extra force, extra energy to try to get on top of the board, and then once you're on top of the board, you're not gonna go anywhere. You're gonna be sinking, your sail's gonna be touching the water, and you're gonna be trying to get on it and wait for the next gust and all that. So just wait until the perfect condition, okay. So now let's say you have the perfect condition, you feel the wind, it's windy. So once you're ready, push your hand above your head, okay, and then with the back hand, pull it while your front hand is a little bit straight, so the sail can go on an angle and the wind can go inside, and you'll see it. As soon as you do that and you pull your back hand and the wind goes in, it's gonna wanna lift you. So immediately use that energy to get you on top of the board, okay? And that's why you need a small board that sinks, because so you don't have to be really bent and all that, because if you have a board with lots of volume, it's not gonna sink and you're gonna have to try to get on it and a different angle. It's weird. So if you have problems with your knees, it's gonna be awkward, okay? So that is why it's very easy to do a water start on a short board but with strong wind, okay? So then when you're ready, you pull it, you get on top of it, you see the board is gonna sink, which is gonna be easy. You don't even need to bend your legs because it's gonna pull you up, and immediately once you're up, do 1 or 2 pumps depending on the power, and boom, there we go, you're on the plane and you're falling, okay? Now, if you get on top of it and the wind suddenly kind of drops a little bit, you know, just pump your sail maybe a few times, like 4 or 5 times more, and bam, 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 until you start getting, because you want to take that board out of the water, because right now the board, if it's not very windy, but it's windy enough to pull you up on the board, and your board is low volume, you're probably going to be like 4 feet underwater. So you need to bring that board to the surface, and how you do that is by having enough wind to keep that force up, to keep force into the sail. Okay, so that's the reason why. Also, is if there's plenty of wind, and as soon as you pull up and you get up and you pump once, you'll be on the plane. And if it's not, you're gonna need to pump your sail like a few times in order to get more power into it in order to get to plane. Okay, and then once you get on it, there we go, you're planing. But remember to pump that sail if there's not much wind and you don't feel that much wind. Okay. But I'm sure, you know, I have a few people saying, yeah, but I don't use foot straps. I use a strapless. How can I do a water start on a small board? like I said before, it's exactly the same thing, okay? But this time, what you're gonna need to do is you're gonna need to, same thing, same deal, you know, front hand holds the sail and your back hand will be holding the board, and that's the reason why. Especially if you don't have foot straps, you need to have a board with low volume, okay? Because it's easier to turn with low volume. If you have a board that has big volume, it's like 50 liters, maybe 60 liters, it's gonna be hard without foot strap. Because if you have foot strap, you can actually manage to put your foot into the foot strap and kind of put it on the side and kind of, you know, stay on the side. It won't sink. If it's like 60 liters, it won't sink that much. It will sink until you get on it, but once you have the side, it won't go in, okay? So anyway, that's why it's nice to have a small board, narrow board and everything, so you can grab it with the other hand, your back hand, and turn the board on the side. And you might need more leverage to turn the board on the side, and what I suggest to do, but you have to be very careful, is once you put your hand, your back hand on the rail of the board here to turn on the side, use your foot, which is under the water, use your foot to push against the wing here. By pushing it, it's gonna, see how it changes the angle of the board? That will help you turn the board on its side. But be careful because it's very sharp. So if you hit the wing really hard, ow, that hurts. That's what can happen. You can cut yourself on your foot, okay? So be careful. But again, this also is one way also of helping turning the board on the side if you're having a hard time using a foot strap or, you know, without foot strap. But anyway, it's getting windy, so get out there, try this new way of water starting but in strong wind, and you'll see how easier it is and how less energy you waste if you do a water start in strong wind. But it has to be strong wind. Okay, well anyway, have a good time and I'll see you there.